Well, the ego, to begin with, faces reality, as it were. In other words, the ego is informed through the development of the personality. You know, we have our parents, we have teachers, we have counselors, we have therapists, and they are all helping bolster, they're teaching the ego. And so its knowledge is really earthbound, which of course is essential to get through life, but we shouldn't confuse that with wisdom. Whereas the ego develops along the lifespan, the self is a given. The self is a state. We're almost born without, we are born with the seeds of an ego, but it takes some years before those seeds sprout. The self is. And what changes is the realization of the self. Now, what is that wisdom? If ego then derives its information, its knowledge from the earth, from people around us, the self derives, it draws its wisdom. It's hard to put a word to this. We can say nature, we could say God, the cosmos. It is truly transcendent to anything that we can learn from another person. So this wisdom is, in alchemy, the goal of the lapis, or the philosopher's stone. That's how the alchemists imagined this super consciousness that one can achieve. Sometimes, you know, as difficult as it might sound, because there are great resistances on the part of the ego to accept the wisdom of the self. In fact, Jung said in his Mysterium Canunctianus, is the last book of the collected works, he said something to the effect that every victory for the self is a defeat for the ego. The ego wants to maintain control, all right, because it's immediate, it's practical, it's earthbound, and it gives us a sense of security. But as we age, you know, and we learn that things aren't as permanent, as set, and as reliable as we'd like to think they are, and we have what I would call transcendental experiences. In other words, we're more open, you know, to the influx of the spiritual energies of God, the divine, higher power, the self. And it may come through a dream, it may come through a synchronistic event. You can even begin to live on that level of the transcendental function. You are functioning at a very high level. You are functioning at the level of the self. But it doesn't always follow the rules and logic that oftentimes you know, we create a habit, a routine, and we cling to these habits. Now, it's not as if all habits were bad, but if we just kind of fall into this habitual routine, it's a closed system, and we're not open, you know, to the wisdom of the universe.